Hi guys, Jared here with Day Traders FX. It's time for the daily video update. So let's get right to it. Quick little look. We're just about 20 minutes, a little less than 20 minutes out from the close of the Dow. You can see that it's going to close pretty negative, but still, it's made a big recovery from where it was today. It was almost 200 points down earlier today. The S&P was down about 20, and it's come back to just a little bit of a loss there. Gold has recovered quite a bit. It was down $50, I think, today, and it's recovered quite a bit. And the oil was down at around 95. Hallelujah, and it's recovered a bit as well. So we're just kind of getting through the typical day where we don't have a lot of expected news, and we do have a lot of unexpected news, like some more Greek stuff and so on. But as far as the calendar goes today, there hasn't been anything too exciting in the works. We do have coming up in about 2 hours the annual budget release for Australia, and likewise, or excuse me, the financial stability report for New Zealand as well. Coming into tomorrow, though, we've got some interesting stuff going on, a little more interesting anyways. Wednesday, we've got current account out of Japan. That can give us a little bit of activity. And then we have the employment numbers for Australia, and count on some big activity for that one. If the poor Aussie dollar has more bad news, it's just going to push it right through parity, which is great because I'm short in it, and I think it might have a little more downturn to it. But this is all tomorrow, and then on Thursday and Friday we've got some pretty big news. But we'll talk about that on the video tomorrow. The dollar index is just hovering below, and as you can see that not too long ago it pushed just above 80, and it's just barely sitting below that 70, right below the 80 mark, right around 79.80, 79.90. So the dollar index has come back quite a bit, and once again our dollar index chart on the larger time frame is still holding on to this trend line right here. So it's still hanging in there pretty well. Couple of quick things to look at. We grabbed some nice pips out of the euro dollar last night, some great pips out of the Aussie dollar, and even some nice pips out of the pound dollar, which is getting very choppy. Here are the levels to keep an eye on. These are the same levels from yesterday. If the euro gets above 130.65, I'm picking some euro positions up to go long for sure. But again, only looking for about 30 to 40 pips potentially. So above 130.65, next target is just going to be around 130.100, maybe a few pips past, nothing too much more than that. There's a lot of resistance, there's downtrend, there's a lot of momentum here, but it's just kind of stalling out this last little run. So let's not get stuck in the chop too much, and that's why we're waiting for that high to break 130.65. Otherwise, we could get in a little bit sooner, maybe around 130, 35, 40, but I think that's going to put us too much in the chop. So we want to stay out of that and get into this thing if it breaks. Otherwise, let's stay away from it. But I still do really like the sell position here. I think that this is continuing to go down. I like the market actually at current market price. I think this is a good entry. It's still sitting below that daily pivot point. It's tested it a couple of times, and it's trying to do something with that daily pivot in that 130 kind of 25 area. It's really been hopping around 130.25. So as long as it stays below this, I think it's a good option. From where it's currently sitting with stops just above some of these highs here, we're looking at about 25 pips risk and a potential of a 65-ish pip trade. So there's some good potential runs here, and I think the euro is going to test this low, which is just around 129.50, much sooner than later. So keep an eye on that. Be ready for any of the movement here, and just be ready to get into this pair short. But again, above 130.65, I think it's a better buy opportunity than anything. But as it stays kind of in this area, like I said, I like it at current market price. As long as it stays below 130.25, then we should be good to continue taking this pair down. We can, of course, look at some smaller time frames and kind of see that there's a little bit of messiness going on there, but there is some trendline activity we can look at and keep an eye on, and that would be probably somewhere in this general area. So, maybe look for a break of this little low right here, but I think the pair is just about ready to go anyways. So let's just keep our eyes on some possible. Let's see if we can move our trend line here. There we go. On some possible breaks below kind of these lows in these areas, which are, once again about 130, 10 to 15 area. But for the most part, that's just trying to kind of dial in this entry a little bit. I think it's ready to go south, and I think all these pairs are kind of ready to make a run down. Pound dollar is looking incredibly choppy and not very interesting. If we get a big breakout on this pound dollar, that would be great. Otherwise, we grabbed some pips on the break below 160, 150 last night, and then it just kind of double bottomed and chopped back up, and it's just kind of chopping around here, not doing anything too exciting. I will go long above 160, 200 on the pound dollar, and in this area, I think there's still some short opportunities. We can sell down into some of these lows, probably, but I don't know. I think the pound dollar may be a better one to stay away from for the moment than to try to get into. The euro yen, I think we have a possibility there. There's a lot of resistance just above 10400, lots of resistance, and then we've got this level up here, which is about 10460-ish or so, where we're still trying to kind of fill that gap and test those Friday lows and so on. But I think that we've got a little buy opportunity at 10400, at or above 10400, 10410, right in that general area, to take about 30 pips to get back into some of this resistance here. So I will be looking for that, and I will happily buy the pair up into that resistance. Otherwise, I think as long as it stays below 104.10, then I think we're good to go as far as just shorting this pair and kind of taking it down. We can see that it's kind of slowly making its way down. It's been giving us a lot of grief this morning. We watched it and kind of watched some of that movement. It tested some of those highs, and now it's starting to come back down again. And I think that the euro yen is going to be testing these lows, and I think we've got probably a 50 to 60 pip run from current market price of just a nice easy run down into those levels. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. As long as it stays below 104.10 and particularly 10400, but as high as 104.10, I think it's a good sell opportunity. Above 104.10, let's buy it up into 104.50-60. Pound yen kind of choppy. Aussie dollar, we grabbed some great pips on the Aussie dollar. We talked about in the notes getting into this trade between 101.80 and 101.85. You can see that that's this area right here. Grabbed some very nice pips out of that. At its lowest point, it ran almost 100 pips. It's pulled back a little bit. It's still in profit, over 60 pips. So very nice little run there, and I think the Aussie is going to continue down. I don't know where I would try to get into this Aussie. It looks pretty extended to me. I'm getting ready to start taking profit on this thing. It's looking pretty overrun. I think we might need to see a little bit of retracement on this before we start doing much with it. So I think the Aussie's probably a sit out and wait for the moment as well. I think our attention should really be on euro dollar and euro yen pairs. Between the two of these, we should be able to find some nice little entries. Like I said, right around current market price for the euro dollar and right around current market price for the euro yen, I think are both good opportunities to short and take these trades down into the lows of today and yesterday. So there's some good short-term pips and some good longer-term pips there. So keep an eye on those. Let's watch for those levels. And again, a break above 130.65 or a break above 104.10. These are both going to give us buy opportunities on the euro dollar and euro yen. But for the most part, I think we're ready to short these guys and take them into those lows. So I'll have more details posted in the chat and notes coming. So best of luck, and we'll see you there.